Hello, welcome to Hillary's Whiskey Lounge. I'm Hillary, and this is my Whiskey Lounge. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a classic, one of the big boys. This is Glenfarclas 12. Glenfarclas is a Speyside distillery. It's been under the ownership of J&G Grant since 1865, but it's been in operation since the 1830s. It's since 1865, it's been family owned by this Grant family. There are other Grant families in the Scotch business, but this is the J&G Grants, and they still own the company today. Glenfarclas means the Valley of the Green Grass. I know, so many glens to keep straight. This is the Valley of the Green Grass. And this is, let's see, it's 43% ABV. So it's the minimum ABV really that should be imported into the United States. And it says on the label that it's natural color. It doesn't say anything about the chill filtering, so you know how we'll find that out. We'll see if some Scotch mist forms when we pour a couple drops of water in, a couple cc's maybe. This whiskey is the beginning of the very, very strong sherries that I'm going to introduce you to in the following days, weeks, and months. And this has been matured, not just finished, but matured in Oloroso sherry casks. Definitely oak, so we're going to get some sherry and oak flavor in here as well. So let's open this puppy up. Okay. Remember, the whole point of these videos is for you not to be afraid of Scotch, not for you not to be intimidated by it. So it's fine if you want to indulge in a new bottle. This was $68 at one of my favorite whiskey shops, one of my favorite adult beverage shops. Okay, I love keeping these little foil caps too. I have a whole giant jar of them, but they're kind of cute. Well, I kind of mangled this one. All right. Ooh, here's that sound. Oops. There we go. That wonderful sound of a new bottle opening. And let's pour a little in. And there's that lovely glug, glug, glug sound that we all love. Oh, let me show you a close-up of the label. Not a lot of information on here. Really not. Just some warnings. This is an edition that's been bottled for the US market, so we don't have any of the UK stamp or anything on this. Got my Glenfarclas shirt on. I picked this up when I visited this distillery a few years ago. I'm going to try my best to post some pictures. The distillery is gorgeous. It's like all gray stones and red wooden accents. Their tasting room is part of a ship. It's really cool. They dismantled some old ship and built their tasting room with the paneling from this old ship. It's interesting. All right, so let's check out the nose. I know I just poured this, so I would have liked to let it sit for a little while, but I wanted you guys to see me unabashedly open this bottle. All right, so let's do the nose. A really strong whiff of sherry right away. I know what we're getting into. You can see here the nice light amber. It looks a little darker on the camera, but it is pretty light. I believe them when they say it's that there's no color added. So definitely sherry. It smells warm. It smells um, spicy. I'm smelling ginger, even cinnamon, chocolate. It's really a very rich, thick nose. All right, let's take our first small sip. This is no water added. Really smooth arrival, no burn, which is great, and that's probably due to the 43% ABV. This would be excellent for a beginner, especially if you want to start delving into those heavily sherried whoppers, which is what this is. The development was continuing the growth of that chocolate flavor, the ginger, the sherry, really nice and warm. This would be perfect for something for after dinner, for instance, or along with along with dessert. It's not overly sweet, but it's definitely sweeter than the previous whiskeys that I've introduced you to. And the finish was nice and smooth too, no burn. Um, there's a fair amount of oiliness and mouthfeel to this, so I'm wanting to say that it's not chill filtered. I did look at their website to check that out, and I didn't see anything about the filtering. Mm. It's a very warm, earthy, um, full, chocolatey, cinnamony, other spices I just can't name yet. Okay, I'm going to pour a little bit of water in here, just a tiny bit because it's 43 ABV, but let's see if a little bit of water opens it up and maybe will give us that scotch mist. Any legs? Little legs. I don't think you'll be able to see that on the camera, the little legs. But again, it's a pretty light ABV. Glenfarclas comes in a 10, this 12. There's a 15 that's very popular amongst enthusiasts, and a 30. I'm not sure what is beyond that. I think I've seen a 50 once, 50 year. And then also, while we're just letting our Scotch mist form, there's this little guy. Well, I just got it as a little guy. This one I actually bought from the distillery. This is their 105, which is their cask strength version. 105 refers to the British way of doing proof, unlike the United States way of doing proof, where if something is um, 80 proof, that means you just cut that in half. That means it's 40% or whatever. I'm not sure how the British system works, but they did actually say on the little canister that this equals 60% ABV. So that's going to be fun to try one day. Wow. And then this little tiny mini. You can get these little minis at some specialty whiskey stores. And of course, if you go to Scotland and you go to Speyside and you visit this distillery, you can get all the minis you want. But of course, along the high street in Edinburgh, you can get these little guys too. But yeah, this is a little 12. This is a good little guy. Okay, all right, let's see how our water is doing. Hmm. Let's see, flashlight. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of mist. I know it's only been a couple minutes, but I'm still kind of thinking maybe they are doing chill filtering. Not sure. If anybody knows, please let me know down in the comments. But I'm sure it's going to be wonderful anyway. Okay. Wow. Adding a little water has really opened up the nose. A lot more chocolate, coconut, more ginger, more fruits almost on tasting. Fruits, maybe some peaches, some pineapple. It's gotten really light by adding a little bit of water to there. All right, let's taste it. Wow, very smooth. The development, lots of chocolate, lots of sherry, lots of deep dark yumminess. If you like those chocolate covered cherries, this is for you. Mm, okay, and of course the finish is no problem with having added a little bit of water as well. Mm. Oh, it's almost 12 o'clock on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. So adding a little water really, really makes this easy and approachable. I would definitely recommend if you wanna strengthen your game a little bit, to go for this Glenfarclas um, 12. I would maybe not do the 10. I think the 10 is only a 40% ABV. I'm not sure. Um, but definitely start with the 12. The 15 might be a little heavy for you at first, but this is a great approachable classic whiskey, classic Speyside. I'm going to try to show for you some of the pictures that I took at the distillery when I was there. So, and also the odd thing from the whiskey lounge today, I put together this. I'm trying to put together this little montage of these little these little metal uh, bar signs that you can get, and you can get for your own little whiskey lounge or your own little whiskey corner. They're kind of fun. Although, if you take a look at this, you'll see a couple kind of strange little typos. um, so you can't always guarantee the spelling of these things. They are just actually for more decorative purposes. So I'm going to try to show you after this video, or at the tail end of this video, some of the little bar signs that I've collected. You can just get them on Amazon or Etsy for they're really inexpensive, maybe $8, $10 for these, but they do add a nice little color and flavor to your whiskey lounge. All right. Well, please, if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please, I beg you, share with some of your friends, especially ones that you know uh, that you'd like to maybe start drinking scotch with, or that you know that they themselves have started drinking scotch, but maybe are a little intimidated. Um, and let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comments below. And if somebody can find out whether or not this Glenfarclas is cold fill, blah, cold chill filtered, please let me know. I'm guessing still there's no Scotch mist in here. I'm guessing it's not, but it hasn't ruined the Glenfarclas experience for me. I think by adding by having it chill filtered has taken away some of the mouthfeel, some of the oiliness that really would benefit this. I'm not sure why this independently family owned company would do such a thing, and really take away some of that extra sensory delight from this product that they are very proud to make this Glenfarclas. So it's beyond me why, if they are chill filtering, why they're doing that. Glenfarclas, why are you doing that? Hmm. Well, we will find out. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend and slunge. Here we are at the Glenfarclas Distillery. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to show you a couple of seconds per each one of these pictures. You can tell from the buildings that some of the buildings actually were there since the 1800s, original buildings. That's the washback. The stills, just gorgeous copper giants. There's the spirit safe. It's a beautiful tour, too. If you are thinking about heading over to Scotland, I would definitely recommend. I would hope that you go to Speyside. Look at that gorgeous building. I would hope that you go to Speyside when you're there in Scotland and visit Glenfarclas. They had an amazing dunnage warehouse. That's a picture of the moldy wall. The very happy casks, all just maturing away. I was blown away by the red paint on their little accents. It was beautiful there. And it ended up with a really nice tasting session too. This is the typical pagoda style ceiling or roof and the tasting. And here is the Valley of the Green Grass. All right, here are my little bar signs that I promised to show you. Spot the typo. There it is, the spirit of independence. You cannot guarantee the spelling for these little signs that you buy, but they are not for educational purposes. They're for enjoyment only. Nice Lafroig sign. Now this Lafroig sign leaves something to be desired, but it's kind of cute. I have it stashed away on my wall behind my Lafroigs. This is
Glencoe, one of the most famous valleys in Scotland. And here is Glen Spey. I don't even know if this is a real whiskey. 6 years old, homegrown barley. And finally, the Scottish Highland Games. Wow. All right. Thank you, everybody. Slanjava.